Similarly, material desires for things are, you asked for it, you get it, but you have more problems. Then you ask, okay, remove this problem. Then that problem is removed, something else comes. Remove that problem, then you have to keep on going. But intelligent man is he who asks such a benediction that no more problems. So that is intelligence. Another thing is, no devatas can award you any benediction without the sanction of the Lord. The devatas are agents. The Supreme Lord is the supplier. Without his sanction, nobody can grant you. They have to take the sanction. That's described in the 7th chapter, 22nd verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Sataya shraddhaya yuktas tasyaradhanamihate labhate cha tatah kaman mayaiva vihitan hitan. Whatever they are giving, ultimately they are taking from me. I am the ultimate giver of every benediction. Whereas, all the benedictions are given by him alone. So, intelligent man is he who will directly approach the Supreme Lord for all the benedictions. Next. Another very interesting thing. If you worship the devatas, you go to their abodes. And if you worship Krishna or the Supreme Lord, you go to his abode. Now, what is the difference between going to the abode of the devatas and going to the abode of the Supreme Lord? The difference is this. As Krishna describes in the 9th chapter, 25th verse. Yanti deva vrata devan, pitrin yanti pitr vrataha, bhutan yanti bhuteja, yanti madhya jinopimam. Yanti deva vrata devan. If you worship the devatas, you go to their planets, wherever they are residing. Pitrin yanti pitr vrataha. Those who worship the forefathers, they will go to their planet, wherever they are. Bhutani yanti, if you worship the ghosts and hobgoblins, you will go to their planets, wherever they are. And anyone who worships me, Krishna says, will achieve my planet. So you may say, what's the difference? The difference is described in the 12th chapter, 8th chapter, 21st verse. Avyaktoksara ityuktastamahu paramam gatim yam prapya nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. The difference is this. If you go to the abode of the Supreme Lord, you will never come down to this material world of birth, old age, disease and death. You are liberated from the cycle of birth and death. But if you go to the abode of the devatas, then at the time of pralaya, they will be finished, you will be finished, and their planet also will be finished. Ultimately. Therefore, intelligent man is he who aspires for an eternal benefit. He doesn't want an abode which is temporary. He wants a permanent home. Who would aspire for a rental home? Every month you have to keep on changing. By the time you settle down, you have to leave that place. By the time you settle down, you have to leave that place. Anyone would prefer a permanent home where he can reside happily, peacefully. So from an eternal point of view, the abode of the devatas are kshine punye martyalokam. You do punya, you go to their abode, but you exhaust your punya, you come back. Like credit card. As long as you have money, okay, you can throw the credit card, get away. And then one day you throw it and that fellow throws it back at you because it is exhausted. Now you are back to square one. Again you have to earn. That is the difference. In fact, Krishna even goes so far to say that the worship of the devata is avidhi purvakam, improper worship, while the worship of the Supreme Lord is the most intelligent way. How? The example is given in the Bhagavad. Yatha taror moola nishechanena trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara cha yathendriyanam tathaiva sarvarhanam achyuteja. Two examples are given of how worship of the Supreme Lord is the best, proper way, and worship of any other source independent of the Lord is considered to be improper. The first example is, suppose there is a tree, a huge tree, 200 feet long with branches and leaves and flowers and fruits. You want to nourish the tree. A less intelligent child will take the hose pipe and water the stem, the branches, the leaf, the flower and the fruit. Whereas an intelligent person will take a bucket of water and throw it on the ground at the base of the stem, knowing fully well that if the root is watered, automatically the whole tree will be nourished. So the improper way of watering the tree is watering the stem, the branches, the leaf, the flower, the fruit. And a proper way of watering, nourishing the tree is simply by watering the root. Yatha taror moola nishechanena. If you water the root of the tree, tripyanti, all the branches, all the stem, the leaves, everything will be nourished automatically without extra endeavor. Another example is given. Pranopaharacha yathendriyanam. If you want to nourish the body, there are 9 holes in the body. But proper way of nourishing the body is only use one hole, that is the mouth. If you start feeding through the nose and through the ears and all other places, that is an improper way of feeding, nourishing the body. The best is put the thing into the mouth and it will go to the stomach. If the stomach is nourished, you don't have to separately nourish all the fingers, put the finger in halwa and put your head in the ghee and put your legs in some sabji. No, simply feed the stomach and every part of the body will automatically be nourished. Similarly, if we satisfy the Supreme Lord, that's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita in the end, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Surrender to me, O Arjun. But you may say, no, what they, everyone will get angry. He says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami. I will relieve you from all sinful reaction. Do not worry. This happened in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, all the Brajavasis were worshipping Indra every year. It was their Kula Deva. Sometimes people ask, what about Kula Deva? Their Kula Deva was Indra. They were worshipping. And Krishna said, you don't have to worship Indra. Use all this to worship Govardhan. Because that gives you grass, that gives you everything. He said, no, Indra will get angry. He said, no, you worship. So they had faith in Krishna and they worshipped Govardhan. And Krishna personally took the form of Govardhan and accepted everything. Indra became very angry. He was fuming. One little talkative child has spoken all nonsense, and listening to that, you people have rejected your traditional worship. I will teach you a lesson. And he got the clouds, Samvartaka cloud, which is used at the time of universal devastation. And he started pouring rains. It was not raining cats and dogs. It was raining horses and elephants. Pillars, huge pillars of water was pouring. And all the Brajavasis told Krishna, we told you. We told you. Krishna said, don't worry. Govardhan will protect you. Come, let us go. And effortlessly, just as an elephant picks up a sugar cane, Krishna lifted the Govardhan. And all the Brajavasis came inside. Even their hair did not become wet. All the water, the Sudarshan of the Lord was going around and just evaporating the whole water. Not a drop of water touched the Brajavasis. Indra showered the rain for 7 days and 7 nights. Ultimately, he got exhausted. And he realized this ordinary talkative child is not an ordinary child. He is my worshipable Lord. He fell at the feet of Krishna and he said, you are the real Indra. Please forgive me for my offense to consider you as an ordinary person. In this way, there are so many beautiful pastimes in Krishna Leela, where Krishna demonstrated his supreme power over everyone. The Devatas cannot award the ultimate liberation, whereas only the Supreme Lord, in fact, Lord Shiva tells Parvati in the Padma Puran, Mukti Pradata Sarvesham Vishnurevana Samshaya. In fact, Krishna's another name is Mukunda. Mukunda means only one who can give mukti. If you want liberation from this material world of suffering, only the Supreme Lord can give. Nobody else. They can give you benefits in this world. But if you want liberation from this world, only the Supreme Lord can give. This is another very interesting thing. The Lord, the Devatas give what people want, but the Supreme Lord gives what one needs. There is a difference between what one wants and what one needs. Right? Children want practically everything. They don't even know what's good for them, what's bad for them. Everything they see they want. But the Father only gives what one needs. That is the difference between Devatas. If you go to the Devatas and pay the required amount, they have to give you, whether you like it or not, they have to give you what you want. Even though it may not be good for you, it may not be good for others. There was a demon. His name was Bhasmasur. He went to Lord Shiva and worshipped Lord Shiva. Shiva gets very easily pleased. Therefore his name is Ashutosh. So he got pleased. Yes, and he was such an adamant fellow. This demon was such an adamant fellow. He started cutting his hands and putting in the fire. He started cutting his legs and putting in the fire. He was about to cut his head. Just like sometimes children, become so adamant, start kicking their hands and legs. The parents say, okay, Baba, what do you want? Tell me. So he started cutting his hands and legs. So Shiva said, okay, Baba, what do you want? Please tell me. And this fellow looked at Shiva. My Lord, give me this benediction that whosoever's head I place my hand, he will burst to ashes. He will be burned to ashes. Shiva said, what kind of benediction is this? He said, okay, tathastu. He's done so much, okay. Then along with Shiva, Parvati had come. So this Asura started looking at Parvati. Wow, she's so beautiful. But as long as Shiva is there, I can't enjoy her. Therefore he started trying his first, benediction. He wanted to try on Shiva. And ultimately Lord Shiva had to run. And as he was running, everyone was watching. What's happening? Then he cried out, my Lord, please protect. And it is described, Vishnu took the form of a dwarf. And he came and said to this demon, hey, where are you going? He said, you don't know? I've got this benediction. Whoever I place my hand on, he will die. So, therefore I want to place it right on Shiva. Though this boy started laughing loudly. He said, you are such a fool. You believe this person, he never trustworthy, Many times his things don't work at all. So Vishnu Maya, he started talking in such a way that he got so bewildered. He said, so what should I do? Whole world is watching you. And now you will run and place your head. And Shiva will smile, nothing will happen. And you will become a laughing stock. Really? Yeah, try it out, see. And he said, okay, I'll place it on my own head. Just burned to ashes. The story is given to indicate what is the mentality of people who approach the Devatas generally. They want some very, very selfish kind of benedictions, which is troublesome to them and to others. They don't even know what they want. But if they do the required tapasya, the Devatas are forced to give. If they do, just like if you go to a shopkeeper and get 10 rupees and say, I want a packet of cigarettes, 555 cigarettes. The shopkeeper knows. A 5-year-old child comes and says, uncle, please give me one packet of 555 cigarettes. I want to smoke. The shopkeeper knows it's not good for you, but he has to give. That's why he has opened the shop. But the same child goes to his father and says, Papa, here is 10 rupees, give me 555. The father will take the 10 rupees, keep it in his pocket and slap him 555. Right? You rascal, this is not why I gave you. This is the way you use it. This is what you deserve. Approaching the Devatas and approaching the Lord is the difference between approaching a shopkeeper and approaching the Father. The Father will only give what you need. But the Devatas are forced to give, just like Hiranyakashipu did tapasya and Brahmaji came, what do you want? He said, I don't want to die. Brahma said, even I can't give you that because I have to die one day. So he said, okay. He used his intelligence for life insurance. I won't die outside, I won't die inside the house. I won't die in the air, I won't die in the water, I won't die on land. I won't be killed by any of your creation, 84 lakh species. I should not die in the morning or in the night. Complete insurance. Everything is nicely covered. But he did not realize that all intelligence comes from the supremely intelligence, and he is supremely intelligent. So Lord Narsingdev came. He was not a human being, he was not an animal. He was not a person who was created by Brahma. He was standing on the doorstep. It was neither outside the house, inside the house. No astra, no shastra. He took his nails. Not on the ground, not in the air, not in water, put him on his lap and tore him to pieces. So, protected Brahma. He could have killed him anywhere, but Brahma will be insulted. His representative will be insulted. Without harming Brahma's life insurance, he created a new policy which was not covered. And then he said, what about this? Finished. So, however intelligent we may be, but ultimately all intelligence is coming from him. And then he chastised Brahma. Lord Vishnu chastised, Narsingdev chastised Brahma. Think twice before giving all these things to these people. Otherwise they create such havoc in the lives of people. And finally, the benefits or the worship of the Devatas is material, in the sense they give you what is for this life. But the Lord offers devotional service which is completely spiritual, which is eternally to our credit. Now, I see many dejected faces. What is this? If we should not worship the Devatas, why did Krishna, so many scriptures he gave and worship? He should have said, worship only me. Try to understand. The Lord is very, very merciful and intelligent. People have too many material desires. And to fulfill that desires, the worship of the Devatas are recommended. There is nothing wrong in it. Because as long as the material desires are not fulfilled, it's very difficult for people to meditate on the ultimate objective. They want immediate benefit. Therefore, it is described, the kind of scriptures that are created, that you approach him and you get what you want. For example, here in Maharashtra, they worship Lord Ganesh. Right? If you listen to the Aarti, Vidyarthi lavate vidyam, dhanarthi lavate dhanam, putrarthi lavate putram, moksharthi lavate gatim, japet ganapati stotram, shadbhir maase phalam lavet. 6 months you will get the benefit. You don't have to wait lifelong. So people want quick material benefit. Therefore they approach. 6 months you do, every Tuesday You get this benefit. It's good. But there is also a hitch there. Then why did the Lord create like this? Because at least by constantly going to these people, their worship has been designed in such a way that indirectly you have to chant the name of the Supreme Lord. Just like, suppose a child has malaria and he has to take quinine medicine. Quinine is very bitter. No child will agree to take it. So the intelligent mother, what she does, she puts that medicine in a sugar ball, sugar coating. And she said, "Beta, open your mouth, this is a sweet for you." And the sweet goes inside and then acts like medicine. Similarly, all the Devata worship, in the beginning and in the end, there is the worship of the Supreme Lord. Without your knowledge, even though you may not know the position of the Lord and the Devatas, simply by worshipping the Devatas in the scriptural way, not whimsical way. Today, unfortunately, all this worship is totally nonsense. Some worship, especially I have seen, Kapileshwar, they put wicket keeper and, head, and they make him sit on Garuda, they make him sit on the... If you worship all the Devatas in a bona fide Vedic way, you will be surprised. In the beginning of every worship of Devata, you have to chant the name of the Supreme Lord. And in the end, you have to chant the name of the Supreme Lord. Without your knowledge, you are getting the benefit. You are taking the medicine. For example, when you chant, next time you have this Ganpati worship, call a Vedic worshipper, real worshipper. How does he begin? Achyutaya nama, Anantaya nama, Keshvaya nama, Madhavaya nama, Govindaya nama, Apavitra apavitro va sarvavastham gato viva yasmarit pundarikaksham sabhaya abhyantara shuchihi Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Without this, you won't start any mantra. The first mantra is worshipping the Supreme Lord. Keshavaya nama, Madhavaya nama, Narayanaya nama, Govindaya nama. We say that before every worship, we have to begin with Lord Ganesh. But even to worship Lord Ganesh, you have to start this. You have to establish the Kalash, which represents the Supreme Lord. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. He is the Yajneshwar. Then you worship all the Devatas. And after doing all of this, I was listening to that Aarti, what they sing. How does that end? After the whole Aarti of Ganeshji, what does the Aarti say? Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana vanusata subhava karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayana ita samarpayami. Kayena, whatever I have done by my body, vacha, by my words, manasa, by my mind, indriyarva, by my senses, buddhi, by my intelligence, atmana, by myself, anusuta subhava, by my nature, karomi yadyat, whatever I have done through all of this, sakalam, everything, parasmai. Parasmai means to the Lord who is beyond this material world. Who? Narayana ita samarpayami. And how do you offer? Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. You chanting the mantra. But generally that's not the focus. But without your knowledge, the medicine has gone in. Because the name of the Supreme Lord is supremely pure. And without your knowledge, if you chant that, you get the benefit. And therefore, if you sincerely worship the Devatas, slowly over a period of time, if you are sincere, you will be guided to the Supreme Lord. There are two kinds of worship. Now, please try to understand, we are not recommending that it is wrong, because Krishna has given the scriptures, God has given the scriptures, and some scriptures recommend this. Because there are different levels of people. So, those who have strong material desires can approach the Devatas. But, why is it? How do we know that they have material desires? And they are not interested in pleasing the Lord. They are interested in pleasing themselves. Therefore, generally the worship is once in a week. Right? If you love someone, if you love your wife, you tell her, I really love you, only on Tuesdays. Between 7 to 9 p.m. Don't expect me to love you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Why? Why only on Tuesday? If you love someone and want to serve someone, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dridhavrataha. Krishna says in the Gita, my devotees worship me 24 hours. Manmana bhavamad bhakto. If you love me 24 hours, 365 days a year, always. You live according to my principles. But then, initially, a KG fellow cannot go to PhD level straight away. Therefore, he said, already you want it, you want to enjoy something, this person can give you. So you go to that person, there is some regulation. At least on that day, they won't eat all nonsense. At least on that day, they purify themselves. They try to purify their consciousness. They go there, do some austerity, standing in line, give some charity. At least on one day in a week, they become little pure. And having tasted that purity, they want to do that again and again. And then, out of gratitude for someone who has given something, they want to worship even after the benefit has been given. But the process of worship has been designed in such a way that if you continue to practice, slowly you come to the mode of goodness. Sattva guna. And then when you come to the mode of goodness, you see, my God, I'm asking for such nonsense. Let me do something more. So the whole idea is it has been designed in such an expert way that if you continue to worship systematically according to scripture, not if you, nonsensical worship according to your whimsical desires, the Vedas are designed in such a way that slowly they will elevate you to the highest consciousness. How should we approach the Devatas? We should not approach the Devatas asking for some big list of, demands. One person asked me, so Prabhuji, you are saying that we should, how can I not approach him? For all these years I was going to him, and today you are telling go to Krishna, and tomorrow Ganpati will say, अच्छा, जब चाहिए था इधर आया, अभी उधर जा रहा है. You forgot? Even a gentleman will be grateful to anyone helped any time in his life. So, I feel very unchaste. All these years you worship me, now you are going to somebody, one fellow told you, therefore you are going there. Please try to understand. It is not true. It is not wrong to approach any devatas. It's not a fault. But what is criticized as less intelligent is approaching the devatas for material desires. Real way to please, if you want to worship someone, you have to please that person, not you. I worship you because I like it. No, I worship you and I want to please you. If you want to worship someone, you have to please that person. So, the prayer that we can approach the Devata is, my Lord, dear Devata, so and so, whoever it is, out of the 133 crores, I am fool number one. I don't know what to ask for. I have been troubling you all these years for so many things. Now I approach you and ask you, give me what you think is best for me. When you ask like that, they will give you love for their master. It is a fact. If you approach Maruti every Saturday and put little oil and say, Maruti, please give me Maruti 2000. You will get it. You will get it. Please give me a good wife. He is a brahmachari, but you ask for a wife. Still he will give you. But he will not be satisfied. Just imagine somebody comes to you every week. Excuse me, can you give me this? Can you give me this? Okay, you have a lot of, theek hai. But if that person comes and says, I want to please you, how can I serve you? Please tell me. You become happy. So he will tolerate all this nonsense. Okay, what do you want, Baba? Theek hai. They are so merciful, they give. But if you approach them and say, please give me what you think is best, he will give you devotion to Lord Sri Ram. Because within his heart, he worships Lord Ram. He showed it when he opened his chest, what he worships. he worships Lord Ram within his heart. If you go in front of Lord Hanuman and say, Jai Sri Ram, he will jump from the altar and dance with you. Then automatically he will give you what you want. Also. And also give you what you need. It is described in the scriptures. Yatra yatra Raghunath Kirtanam Tatra tatra Kritamastakāñjalim Vashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Maruti Mamatarakshakantam. Yatra yatra Raghunath Kirtanam. Wherever the name of Lord Ram, the Supreme Lord Krishna or Vishnu is chanted, Tatra tatra, at that place, Kritamastakāñjalim, with folded head and folded palms, with tears rolling down his cheeks, Vashpavari Paripurna Lochanam, Maruti will come there and stand. You don't have to go to him, he will come to you here. When he sees that you are worshipping his Lord, whom he worships within the core of his heart. So somewhere at least go, at least on Saturday. Ask something. Better to ask, rather than asking some Tom, Dick and Harry, better to ask them. They will give you what you want. But real intelligent person is he who will want to please them. And what pleases Hanuman the most? When people chant the name of Lord Ram. Then he will sit with you and also chant. And naturally, Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi ke Data Asavaradina Janaki Mata. Ashta Siddhi, he will give you Ashta Siddhi, Navanidhi, everything will come. He is ready to give. But you foolishly ask for a little paltry benefit. Okay, take it. If you approach the Supreme Lord, all the benefits that all the devatas can individually give can be at once available, if that is what you need. Once, there was a king. This king was in a very magnanimous mood. He wanted to give to his subjects anything they wanted. He was in a very charitable mood. So he went to a village. And the mantri, the minister was with him. So he was in a charitable mood. He said, ask the people what they want. So the minister, beat the drum and said, anyone can ask anything. So one man came and said, dear king, my house is broken. I need a beautiful house. Sanction, write down. Okay, house to be done. Another fellow, I want wealth. I am very poor. Okay, sanction. So many rupees. Gold coins. Next, dear king, my house, my road in front of my house is kacha. Make it pakka. Make it tar road. Cemented road. Highway. Okay, highway. Then the fourth fellow, and this fellow said, my dear king, I want to be your friend. Okay, you are my friend. Write down. He is your friend. He is your friend. And he went away. All the others started laughing at this fellow. You fool. Personally the king had come and you are telling friendship. Now you are a friend. Go back in your home. He had a hut. He said, no, that's enough. I am satisfied. King is my friend. A month passed and everyone got their benefits.